Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today we're traveling to Houston for a 25k event. Actually it's a 30k because it's 25 on Saturday and then there's a 5k on Sunday. So come with me, it should be a lot of fun. This time I will be playing Annie. I think it's a very strong deck. Kai'Sa is very strong as well, but I have been playing so much Kai'Sa almost exclusively for the past 2 or 3 months. And I find myself autopiloting some of the situations. Maybe my brain has had so much Kai'Sa during these months that I need to take a little break. I have also played Annie, just not as much as Kai'Sa, of course. So what I did for this event was play with my teammates the Kai'Sa and the Aurora matchup, which are the two decks I think will be very present in this tournament. And of course, the Mirror. We're now at the airport and have a little bit of time to kill before our flight. So I'll go get some breakfast. I found this restaurant right beside the gate of my flight, so that's pretty convenient. This looks pretty tasty. I wonder if the food is going to look like this picture though, because I am a little bit skeptical about airport food, but we will see. And this is what arrived, and honestly, it was pretty good. Okay, so time to catch our flight. It's going to be a 2-hour one, super short to Houston. And once we arrive, we head out of the airport and check that out. Isn't that cool? We are now at the hotel and we're 10 minutes away from the venue, so it should be very easy to Uber to both tournaments. Looking for my room number. This hotel's really nice, but I feel like there's nothing close by to, like, maybe walk. Oh, this is it. Like to walk around and find something to eat. There it is. Okay. Okay, this is pretty nice. Okay, so today we're going to probably just relax, get an early dinner and some rest and get ready for tomorrow. I looked up locals tonight, see if I could play somewhere, but the closest I could find is 40 minutes away and I don't feel like traveling too much since we'll be getting up early tomorrow. So I'll settle in, find something to eat, and I'll see you in a bit. Damn, this thing was so good that I forgot to record. It's brisket with fries and some hot sauce that's also a little bit sweet. It's really, really good.
It's 7 a.m. and I just woke up. Couldn't fall asleep last night. I was watching the China Regionals and I fell asleep doing that like at 8 p.m. Slept for about an hour and a half. Then woke up, just get ready for bed. And then I couldn't sleep until probably 1 a.m. But I do feel well rested. So I'll go get ready, take a shower, and head to the venue.
This is the list I'm playing today. Pretty standard stuff. Yeah, it's Annie, Cleaves, Gust, Stack Deck to get the cards that we need, Flash, Rebuke, Ride the Wind to do the combo with Vi, and 2 Void Seekers. Then for units we have Vi, obviously, Pouty Poros, Merchants, Sneaky Deckhands. I love this card. Kai'Sa, because it's one of the best cards in the game. Darius, and the Scrap Hips. Then we'll be playing Sun Warrens game 1. Arena's Greatest when going first, and Dreaming Tree when going second. And for the sideboard, to Gust, 1 Fight or Flight, to Rebuke, to just change the structure of the deck a little bit depending on the matchup. Another Void Seeker to get rid of those Kai'Sas, and 2 Drivens. So that's the deck. I think it's the most powerful deck right now in the format. I have way more reps in Kai'Sa, but I still feel like I can perform well.
We're all ready to go. Our deck list has been submitted and it's time to get some breakfast. I wasn't that hungry today, so I just ate something so that I'm not crashing out too early. And I've heard that there's food in the venue, so if I get hungry, I can just get something real quick over there. This hotel is not at a great location. There's nothing really here to do walking distance. I think my Uber's here though. Yeah, thank you. All right, see you in a bit, guys. We just arrived to Charlie's Collectible Show and they're still setting up some things. This is what the floor looks like right now. The player meeting will start in about 40 minutes, so it's not yet packed, but I'm pretty sure people will start coming in here in a few minutes. In the meantime, I walked around and saw that they were also selling all sorts of cards from Pokemon to One Piece, Riftbound, you name it, they had it here. I was looking for a cool playmat as a souvenir for this trip, but I wasn't able to find anything that I really liked, so maybe next time I'll find something else. Most of the show was Pokemon cards and a lot of graded cards. I guess there's a lot of interest for that, but we're here to play Riftbound. So let's head to the play area. Our seats have been posted for the player meeting, so let's go find our table.
Before you get up and leave, so your team chasing your match.
Okay, a round one has been posted, and I'm playing Rishi, who's the guy who won SCG 2 weeks ago. So I guess we're having a tough round from the get-go. He won the die roll. We're playing the Animirror, and he started just super strong. He gusted my merchant, played his units, and I started staying behind in general in this game. I was starting to crawl back, but I just couldn't compete. He played two Kaisas, drew probably half his deck, and my only Kaisa got Void Seekered. I had a play turn 2 where I could have broken tempo by riding the wind my Poro and scoring during his turn, but I don't know, it felt a little bit bad to deramp so early. I was trying to play a little bit more cautious, and obviously I didn't know that he was going to draw a little bit better than me. So I didn't go for that line. Then I had to ride the wind turn 4 just to try and kill his units because he was way too ahead. But he had flash, so he brought Kaisa and something else back. I can't remember exactly what it was, and I just couldn't kill his things. And this game ended 8-5. Then game 2. I drew very well and I was able to push points early very efficiently. I got him low in cards in hand and I kept drawing, so I was able to do my final push with Darius. And this time I was the one that gusted his merchant, so that's always very good. And I tried to do my final push with Darius, but I knew he would be either pushed back or rebuke. So I did this first, and then once he uses his card and taps out, I show him buy Ride the Wind. And this one I won 8-5. And then game 3, I played my Poro and he got gusted. So I'm thinking that I'm a little bit ahead on runes. So I need to find a way to build a good board. And this game, I should have been more careful towards the end. I have double Ride the Wind in hand. He has a Darius with a hidden fight or flight. And my hand was not great. So I got a little bit greedy and went in with my Poro and cleaved on the Dreaming Tree to draw a card. And obviously this is very unsafe because I got gusted and lost my Poro. And now I cannot even trade. I did need more cards, but then after the match, I was thinking that if I cleave before going onto the battlefield, then I get one additional turn. So that card I'm getting no matter what. It was an oversight, I guess, to not understand that if he gusts me, I lose on the spot. And if I don't draw the card, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, he had only 2 cards in hand. It was safer to do it that way. Even though it's unlikely that he has the gust, I shouldn't open myself to lose in these kinds of spots. He was also very ahead. I was only at 4 points while he was at 7, and I don't know what his hand was, so maybe he had other ways to finish the game. We're starting this tournament with our first loss. Okay, so round 2 was against Travis. He's playing Kaisa, and game 1, I got a lot of advantage early. I didn't draw amazing, but I did draw the tools that I needed, and the deck performed how it's supposed to. I digged with Merchant and Flashes for the combo to close the game, and I play a Vi as I have 2 in hand, and Annie to get back Ride the Wind the turn before I go for the game-winning play, and I'm trying to bait some sort of removal. He has to spend his whole turn dealing with my board, not knowing that the next turn I will just play another Vi and then Ride the Wind for a game. And that's what he does. He taps out to play Icathian Rain and then goes into one battlefield and plays a couple more units there just to try and hold. But obviously I have such a big trash that Vi Ride the Wind is able to do the job. And then game 2, I got a Sneaky in my initial hand and he's playing Candlelit. So even though my hand is kind of bad, I know I can filter a little bit with his battlefield. He plays his Poro turn 1, passes, so I go with my Sneaky into the Candlelit, pass turn back. Then he uses Void Seeker on my Sneaky. And at this point, I know he doesn't have any Hex to Grace, otherwise he would have played it instead of the Void Seeker. And it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable playing a couple of my smaller guys in base. And that way, if he has something like Falling Star, one of my units will survive. To close this game, I know that I will need to use Annie because I started drawing good cards and I didn't want to discard any of them. So I had to get rid of my Ride the Wind in a Merchant movement. So I'm being extra careful with my runes so that I have 8 available the turn where I need to close the game. Then in one of the candlelit activations, I see a Kaisa, and I know this is exactly what I need, an accelerated unit to be able to push to 6, and then I just have all the pieces in my hand and my trash to go for the final push. At this point, I don't have enough cards in my trash to make like a really big Vi. At this point, I have maybe like 7. So something like Smokescreen plus Void Seeker and a unit can trade for my Vi. So I move my merchant to start filling up my trash and play all my 2-drops to bait something again like Icathian Rain. If he does that, then he'll have to tap out plus refill my trash, and then I'll be able to go for a very big Vi. And that's what he does. He plays Icathian Rain, taps out, moves in with his Darius to a battlefield with only 2 open runes. So I fight or flight the Darius because I know I won't be needing this card. It's another card in my trash, and he now probably plays something else just to ready his Darius and go for that conquer point. He really seems desperate to get some of this point because he's staying behind, and this way I can also block the smoke screen and then not worry about that. He does play a cleave, even though I have no units on my battlefields. He just wants to get the point and go for the candlelit activation, and now he only has 1 rune open, so I know I've won this game as soon as he passes turn. I show him the combo, and this one ended 8-5, and we're now 1-1. Okay, round 3 has been posted, and we're playing against TJ, who's running set. Game 1 was totally winnable. I messed up my Vi Ride the Wind. This was completely on me. I should have won this game, to be honest. He had a Fiora buffed in a battlefield, and this was like turn 3. I had a Vi Ride the Wind and just enough cards to go for the kill. He's all tapped out, and then I play the Vi and do the maths. And if he has Call to Glory, of course he can pay for it with the buff, and I die by 1 because of Fiora's shield. So I didn't want to risk it. I already held the other battlefield, so I cannot even conquer that one, and I just chicken out. I play the Ride the Wind, and that's the point where I notice, oh no, I maybe die here to the Call to Glory, and it's probably GG. But I already played the card, so I didn't change my decision out loud. Like this was all happening in my head because I already played the card and I'm not going back on it. So I moved the merchant into the battlefield that I already conquered just to discard, draw, filter my hand because it really sucks. Like the cards that I have are not good, and then bring him back to discard, draw again. And of course, I lose the opportunity to score during this turn 1 point, and I spend Ride the Wind that I don't need to spend, plus a purple rune. So this turn was disastrous. I tried not to think too much about it because I was getting a little bit tilted because of this stupid play. So I just kept playing normally, and it ended up being a very close matchup, and that's why I say that I should have won this if I played a little bit more carefully and not waste resources or cards. The game ended up being 7-7. I believe we both drew from the 8th point at least once. So at this point, it's just a matter of who has the most tricks in hand. And I had a winning hand, but he played Sabotage before attacking, and he gets my Fight or Flight out of my hand, and it goes for game. But that's on me to put me in that position, as I believe I'm really favored in this matchup. So on to game 2. We're playing on my arenas. I gained a good lead and crushed this game with sneakies and rebukes. I got through a good portion of my deck and closed the game by doing Vi Ride the Wind from 4 points to 6 and trying to hold both battlefields because I know he cannot take both. As he's low on runes, he can probably play a unit and then Showstopper take one of the battlefields, and then next turn I'll hold the other one and Darius cleave for the 8th point. So we win this game 8-5, and then game 3 he really bricked. He didn't have a turn 1 play, playing on his greatest arena, which I'm pretty sure that's a mistake to play that battlefield on set in a field where there's so many Annies. But I was happy to see that he didn't play anything, and now I got the point advantage. So I took the point lead here with a sneaky deck hand. So I do Vi Ride the Wind from 5-7 just because he's on 5 runes. Plus I have a Fight or Flight in hand, and that's exactly what ended up happening. So I win this one 8-3, and now we are 2-1. We had some extra time in between rounds. Luckily there's a cafe in here, so that's pretty convenient, and we'll get some coffee and recharge for the next rounds. A lot of people are still playing their round 3, so I just walk around, and this is the meta distribution for the event. Got 30% Kaisa, 28% Annie, 15% Master Yi, 9% Victor, and then 6% Misfortune. I would have hoped to see more Misfortunes. So yeah, this is what the meta looks in a tournament like this 10 days before set 2 drops. Okay, round 4 against another Kaisa player. His name was Jackson. And game 1, honestly, I should have won with Fight or Flight trick. This was so stupid by me. We were playing a very long game, and we were 7-7. And he has his 2 units on one side, and I have a flash in hand. So what I do is I play my Annie, get back a Ride of Wind from the trash. I also have Fight or Flight in hand, and then what I do is go in to one battlefield for my 8th point, I draw a card, then I flash the Annie back and go to the other side. And at this point, he has a couple runes open, and I, for some reason, feel that he has a Hextagray in hand. So in my head, I'm like, I need to offer the trade so that he doesn't Hextagray my guy and then holds for the win. But that is such a stupid way of thinking, because if he has Hextag, he will still use it on my Annie and hold to 8. I don't know why I thought this. I should have Fight or Flighted his sentry, and then just Annie would have won that combat and won me the game. But I offered the trade, he took it, and we kept on playing for like 3 additional turns because he had no units. He only had Race in hand, but he ended up doing something like Student, and then I just couldn't contest that because I was also out of units. So that's totally on me. Again, I should have won this one, and I punted. He wins 8-7. Then game 2, I'm angry at myself, so I just lock in, and on my Arena's Greatest, I saw that my opponent had a weird build on game 1. He played Phoenix and 3 Singularities. I know that I can go extra aggressive against his build because he's trying to just clean my board every single turn until he runs me out of creatures. So without any fear, I go in with a sneaky deckhand. I see that he doesn't have the Hextagray, and it's just a party after that. I just keep going in with all my creatures and then flashing back when he has an answer. And this game I was able to win 8-4. And then game 3, I keep my flash and sneaky in my initial hand and draw another flash. So this is very good because I'm playing my Dreaming Tree going second, and I know that I can safely go into this battlefield and draw cards off of these flashes. I do it once, going to the Dreaming Tree, he has Void Seeker, flashback, I will draw. Next turn I do the same thing, go in, he has a Hextagray or whatever, I flash back, draw another card, and I just keep denying him the removal. And while this happened, I played threats on the base to bait out his Singularities because I know he's in 3, as I said. He spent 1 on a Draven and a Merchant, and I just kept playing my units for him to spend his turns cleaning my board up. Eventually, he'll run out of them, right? Or he has to spend all of his runes. So I just keep playing threats, and he keeps tapping out every single one of his turns to clean my stuff up. And then to seal the game, I play all of my units plus the Annie to get the Ride of Wind back. I have the Vi in hand as well, so next turn I can do the combo. So I'm presenting a board where he can lose to the board that's already played, or he can clean it up and lose to the combo next turn. Doesn't matter to me. He plays Icathian Rain, taps out, and then I can safely go in with Vi Ride the Wind. So I was able to win this one 8-3. And we're now 3-1. It's looking like we're making a comeback, but in order to top 16, I cannot afford to lose a single round from now on. So I do have to be on my best game. Round 5. We're playing against Sean. He's on a Master Yi Aurora build, and this one was rough, man. Game 1 on Aspirant's Climb, I had the winning cards, but he had all the answers. When I played Vi Ride the Wind, he had a wind wall for the Ride Wind. So now I've spent a lot of the cards on my trash, so I have to rebuild my trash, play cards just to get some cards there back again, and try again. And the next time I tried to Vi Ride the Wind to win the game, he had 14 might on a battlefield, and I had exactly 12 cards in my trash, so I can make this by a 15 and win the game. He also has 2 units on the battlefield, so the Master Yi passive won't apply here, but he has Discipline. And even if I had another trick in hand, like a Fight or Flight or something, he showed me that he had Grim Prison in case I had like a push. So realistically, there's no way I was winning in this spot. And then game 2 on my Arena and his Obelisk, I mulliganed hard to find the sneaky, but wasn't able to do so. He played Sabotage and stopped me me completely. He took off my rebuke, and then when I go in for a final attack with Draven on the E, he lets it pass, so I ride the wind to the other side, and he windwalls that, but I still have a couple units in base. I have a Kaisa and an Annie, plus Cleave in hand, so I can offer the trade on the right side battlefield, and then I have a Sneaky in hand to be able to conquer that 8th point. But he again has the Rune Prison, so I cannot trade. I have no other units. It is what it is. I did make a misplay where I blanked out on Master Yi's +2 bonus, which was honestly very embarrassing. I ended up wasting 1 cleave, but in the end, even if I had that cleave with the Rune Prison, it's not a factor. So pretty unlucky. Both games, I was 1 point away from winning, but as I've said before, this is usually how the games against Aurora go. He did change his build and cited out the Auroras for game 2, I believe, and brought in Kianas, which are pretty annoying. But yeah, still, close games, but I was not able to seal the deal in any of them. So we're now 4-2. We're out of contention for top 16. I would have to win all of my rounds and then get very lucky with tiebreakers. My 2 losses have been to guys who are X1, so I believe this helps my tiebreakers, but still I have to get lucky, and I'm most likely fighting for top 32, which I would still make a little bit of cash on, and points for the Invitational at the end of the year, which is a 50k invitation only 128 spot event, which I really want to qualify for. So I'll keep playing all my rounds. On to round 6. This is going to be against Trenton, who's playing Annie. Another mirror. I win the die roll. And game 1, I lost while having a lead due to not thinking he could ride the wind a Poro to go for 6 points. This is a line I didn't see because I felt like I was very ahead in the game. I was very focused on scoring my 6th point to then go for the combo in my final turn, and he's at 5. But this is just lack of matchup knowledge from my end, because he can ride the wind his Poro to the other battlefield, which is open, go to 6, and then buy ride the wind on his next turn. And that's exactly what happened. I was also feeling very confident because I drew maybe half of my deck and he didn't. So with this many cards, I was thinking that there's no way I'll lose this because I'm very likely to just find the best line here. And it was an oversight to not think about the ride the wind. I should have kept something else in that battlefield and then to the other one, just to not give him the chance to ride the wind there. Yeah, these kinds of mistakes end up costing me a lot of games. So for set 2, I'm really going to put a lot more effort and time into studying all of my important matchups and try to not lose to these mistakes anymore. Then game 2, it was a landslide. I won by a lot on my arena. This ended up being an 8-2 game. And then game 3, it was close. He drew poorly, to be honest. I kept my Gust in hand because I'm going second. So turn 1, he doesn't play a 2-drop. I'm very happy to see that, and I just play a Sneaky. He gusts it. At this point, I believe he gains a little bit of advantage, but then he plays a Sneaky, and I gust him back too, so I gained that advantage back, and we kept playing. It was back and forth. Eventually, he ran out of cards, and I did not. I was able to win a couple of combats, so when he had only 1 card in hand, I went for the finisher, so I know if I can get him to spend that card, then I just have free reign to seal the game. He has a Darius in one battlefield, so I do Kaisa plus Merchant into that battlefield so that if he has Trick, he has to spend it right now, otherwise his Darius will be dead. If he has a Ride the Wind to the other side, I have Darius Cleave in hand, so there's no way I can lose this. He gusts my Merchant, and now that he doesn't have any remaining cards, I can just cleave my Kaisa, kill the Darius, play my own Darius, and go to the other side for my 8th point. This game ended up being 8-6, and we're now 4-2. Okay, final round of the day. So we're going to be playing round 7 tonight, and then round 8 will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. And we're playing Dana Fisher. She was very nice, playing Annie as well, so another mirror. All games with her were super close. I thought I was winning game 1. I drew so much, and she was playing really well around a lot of things. I had a Gust in hand, and she had a Merchant that she didn't really move until she needed to, and when she did, she clipped the Merchant first, so I wasn't able to Gust it. She's not playing her Kaisas into my Void Seekers. She didn't give me an opportunity to capitalize on the advantage that I had early on, and she was able to crawl back and get game 1. Then game 2, I comfortably won 8-5. I was able to play double Darius and just move them around every single turn, conquering both battlefields. That was a little bit easier. And then game 3, I drew horrible and I was almost able to come back. She had like 8 cards in hand in the final turns and I had like 2, and still I was able to come back from like 3 points all the way up to 7, and we were neck to neck. But she had so many cards and tricks that even though I pushed the Vi, she had another Ride the Wind to bring her back into the battlefield, and I lost 8-7. I'm out of contention for top 16 now for sure, but if I win my next round tomorrow morning and I get very lucky, I can still top 32. After this, we went to dinner with the CCS crew. This was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of cool people and had this delicious bowl of beef soup with steamed rice. And after this, I went to my hotel. I watched a little bit of the China regionals just to see how the Spirit Forged meta is shaping.
I was kind of sad because I lost my final round today. I needed that win and the win tomorrow as well. So yeah, right now I am 4-3 and I need to win tomorrow and I might be able to get into top 32. And after that, there's going to be a side event. It's going to be 5K starting at noon. So we'll be playing that as well. For now, I'll just watch a little bit of China's regionals, top 64s. Today was a lot of fun. Dinner was also a lot of fun. I made a lot of friends and I'm having a blast in this trip. So thank you so much for joining me and I'll see you in the morning. Goddamn, I overslept, but I can still make it in time, so gotta take a shower, go grab some food downstairs, and let's go win this thing. I think, get points, whatever it is. Let's go do it.
Eating breakfast at the hotel again, get some food in my body, and then just have a cup of coffee to be ready for the first round. We arrive at the venue. It's still very empty. It's not that early though, so I don't know if a lot of people are not playing in today. Maybe they just dropped and are not interested in playing the 5K. That'll be starting right after we finish our 8th round. I believe anyone who makes top 16 will have some time to play their first round of top 16. Then they'll be able to jump into the 5K basically immediately. So that's cool. But for now, let's focus on our 8th round. As I said yesterday, I need to win this. So let's lock in. So round 8, I'm playing against Neil, who's piloting Darius Hook. This is one of the most fun decks for me in the Set 1 format. I really like this. It's not that powerful because it's kind of high rolly, but it's a deck that I really enjoyed playing, especially early on. It's been a long time since I've played against one of these. So game 1 was very close. He won the die roll, so he plays a Poro, then passes the turn. I played a unit, then pass back, and he gives me information by playing his Hook before going in with the Poro. Then he goes in, and now he's tapped out. All that's left to do is to tap his Darius mana, recycle Rune, and hook the Poro, see what he gets. And I could have Void Seekered the Poro, but it felt so bad. Of course, there's not gonna be a window to trade because he's gonna hook him. So I was just trying to be conservative and save my runes. I didn't Void Seeker the Poro because I didn't want to deramp, but after that, it just got out of hand. He sacrificed the Poro, got the Captain. Next turn, he conquered with the Captain, hooked the Captain, got the Matron, then got the Captain back from the graveyard. It got out of control, but it is what it is. It was still a close game, as I said, 7-7, and he got it. Game 2, he played Arena's Greatest, and I'm thinking, if I don't win this, I'm not gonna win anything because we're both playing Arena, so we're starting at 2 points, which is kind of crazy. I also got double sneaky and went full aggro. He didn't have Falling Star, and I had a Fight or Flight to get him out of the battlefield that he tried to conquer. I won in 4 turns, 8-3. We start the game at 2 points each from Arena. Then I conquer with Merch, conquer with Sneaky, then hold to 5, then play a Sneaky to 6, and then he has no way to contest both battlefields, so he just scoops. And then game 3, it was very back and forth. He plays the hook and goes in with the Captain. I let him take the point, and once he tries to hook the Captain, I gust it, so now he cannot hook again, and he just lost one run for nothing. Then I just played my Kaisa. She was clutched, and I was able to get a ride the wind in hand, which was the missing piece. So I tried to set up my final combo by going to 6 points with my Kaisa. And the next turn, I just did the whole thing. Annie get the ride the wind from the trash, play the Vi, and combo to go from 6 to 8. So I was able to win this, and now I would need very good breakers to be able to top 32. My final record, as I said, was 5-3, and I ended up 43rd, tied with 15 points, all the way up to 31st. Only 2 players at this record made top 32, so it's not a horrible record, but it's also not great. There's things that I need to keep working on and keep improving if I want to be able to top cut. These are the players who made top 16. Congratulations to all of them. One of my opponents, Sean, is playing here, so I'm rooting for him. And this is all of them playing it out. In the meantime, I'm gonna go find something to eat and wait for the 5K tournament to start. So we'll be playing another whole day of Riftbound, and that's pretty exciting. Okay, so first round has been posted. Same rules as yesterday. It's just a smaller event. It's basically the same thing, but smaller. We're 66 players playing for 5K. Top 16 makes a little bit of cash. We also are playing for points for the Invitational at the end of the year. So let's get on to round 1. We're playing David. He's on Kaisa. And game 1, I won by playing Vi Ride the Wind from 4 to 6, clearing his boards. He was trying to hold one of them. I think this is a mistake against Annie. He maybe didn't know the matchup that well, so I just went in for the full clear. And then game 2, he won the point advantage and started stacking one of the battlefields again. So I knew I just needed to find a way to break that hold for a single turn, and I would be in very good shape. He had 1 card in hand remaining, and I find Vi Ride the Wind with a small trash, so I cannot cleanly like sweep it all. So what I did is I hold to 4, then I play Vi Ride the Wind for 8, trading some of his units, and then I had a Draven in base that can now go in. I get my 6th point, and he has no more creatures, just 2 cards in hand, and end up winning 8-6. So now we're starting this tournament with the right foot. Round 2 has been posted, and we're playing against Colin. He won the die roll, he's playing Set, and he played a Poro. Then the next turn went into a battlefield, and then he played his Set to hold that battlefield, and I have a Merchant in my base. He's all tapped out without any buffs, so he cannot even call to glory, and I just cleave my Merchant and trade the Set. Otherwise, he is a headache. He can get out of control if he starts saving his units. So I'm happy to just make that trade and find a way to regain point advantage later on. I played the Kaisa in my base after that, and he drew an absolute brick. I conquered with Kaisa a couple times, drew cards, and after the game, I was very confused because he's not playing anything in his turns. So he shows me his hand, and this is what he had. It's insane. You cannot make anything out of this. So on to game 2. He did the same thing again. Going with the Poro, played the Set, try to hold, and I did the same thing as well. I went in with my Merchant plus Cleave to trade the Set, and since there's no buffs, he cannot save the unit. He then tried stacking a battlefield, but I have the point advantage, so I'm happy to split the battlefields if I'm winning the points before he is. I stack all my units, and instead of attacking, which is obviously what he expected me to do, because it's very obvious that he has tricks in hand, maybe like Call to Glories or Hidden Blades or who knows, I'd rather just not find out and have him come to me and play those tricks offensively so that I can react. And once he realizes I'm not moving from his battlefield, he tries to come and get me off of it, but I do have a Rebuke, I have a Fight or Flight, and I end up being able to hold my final couple points, and we're now 2-0, so great start to this tournament.
That was it.
I have some time to kill before my next round, so I'm getting some coffee, recharging for our 3rd round, which ended up being against Chris. He's playing Yasuo. I remember playing against him in Orlando. You can see how that went in my previous video. I was able to get my revenge this time. Fortunately, I won 2-0. This set, I honestly felt like I played very well. I played around some of the most risky options my opponent might have. And there was a turn where he even had only 1 card in hand. I went in for an attack with Cleave. Even if he has a pump, I'll be able to win the trade because he has 2 masks and and the green Poro. So I go in with my units, cleave them. He plays the Engard, draws from the Dreaming Tree, and it's a discipline. So he plus 2s again. Fortunately, I had the answer for that prepared as well. And both of these games, I was able to win 8-5 with commanding leads. So I feel like I'm playing well, and I'm very excited to start 3-0. The floor is starting to feel a little bit emptier. It's not that many of us who are still here playing, but we still have a couple of rounds to go through. So let's go to round 4. This was against Josh. He's playing Kaisa, and honestly, my deck didn't want to function this round. I lost the die roll, and then he had race to play every single turn. I felt like I couldn't do anything. Game 1, he played double star into Singularity and Hextech Ray. So every time I tried to go in or play anything, he would just clean up my board. I ended up losing 8-3. And then game 2, again, he played double star plus Singularity, Hextech Ray, and a couple of Noxus Hopefuls. So I'm not even sure how I'm supposed to break that start. I drew triple cleave on my initial hand. Oh man, this one felt impossible. I drew Draven into Draven after drawing those cleaves, so I just had to play them, or what am I gonna do? Nothing. So I played the Draven. He lets me have 1 point next turn. I play another Draven, pass it back to him, and since I'm at 3 points, he singularities both of them. I was able to get a couple of points back. It ended up being 8-6, but that score doesn't reflect what really happened. So there's no point in even feeling bad about this one. There's hands of Kaisa you're just not beating. But yep, now we're 3-1 and looking forward for a round 5. All right, round 5 has been posted and we're playing against William. I believe he top 32 the 25k as well, and he's playing Victor. I win the die roll, and game 1 I was able to ride the wind with a Poro into Vilmos early and get a good lead. He had to trade all of his units in base, which were a token and a bird, with this Poro just to stop me from holding that battlefield and double scoring it. After that, I just kept pushing every single turn. Played a Kaisa. He had no answer for it, so I was able to draw a couple cards and get a healthy lead. I was able to win 8-4. And then game 2, I get an early lead because I draw 2 Kaisas, so trying to maximize the value I get out of these 2 cards. There's a turn where I'm going to be holding 1 battlefield, and he decides to just play a unit and pass full runes open. And it's pretty obvious that he has like tricks or something that he wants to do in my turn. So I'm just not going to give him the chance to do that. I'm holding to 4 points. So instead of going for my 5th point, I decide to build a massive base, play all my units, and pass back so that all his mana that he's passing up with remains unused. He has 1 battlefield, which is the Dreaming Tree, and a hidden card. I don't want to go in and get my Kaisa killed by Hidden Blade, so I'll let him have it. If he doesn't kill his bird, then next turn I'll go in with something else. But for now, I just build the base and pass. And surprise, surprise, on the end of my turn, reacting to the Annie on tap trigger, he also plays a Shen. Which is something that I was not counting on. So he gets to develop a board. I thought this turn would be very bad for him, but he had a plan for it. So we still have to play this game out. And once he does this, I noticed that I'm not winning by such a big margin as I was thinking. So I need to be careful in the following turns. So I'm at 4 points with a big board, and I need to push to go to 6 so that I can win the turn after that. I really want to score twice here. So I use everything I have to go to 6, and then I have Vi Ride the Wind in my hand for next turn. But he stacks 1 single battlefield and hides a card. So I know that it's not gonna be a Consult the Past, obviously. It has to be the Stun or Hidden Blade. So instead I decide I will be holding the other battlefield because he doesn't have a way to really efficiently gank or accelerate or just push my units or kill them all. He could try to do something like Imperial Decree, but I have 2 Gusts in hand. So play my Annie here, get a Fight or Flight back from the trash, hide it in this battlefield, and then I'll have 2 runes open to double Gust plus Fight or Flight, and there should not be a way for him to take me out this battlefield. He does play the Imperial Decree, goes in with a unit, I use my Fight or Flight, then he goes in with a token, I Gust it, and then he just scoops, and that's round 5. We're currently 4-1, and if I'm able to win my next round, I will be top 8ing this tournament, so I'm pretty excited about it. With this win, I've already guaranteed top 16, so I'm making a little bit of cash, but I really want a top 8. All right, round 6 against Annie again, another mirror. And I was able to get a lot of card advantage in game one. It went to a point where I had 6 cards in hand and he had only 2. I was on the play, so from this point on, I just played it safe and I was able to win game one 8-5. So feeling confident with this lead, I just now need to win one more game out of the next 2 and I will be making top 8. Game 2 was a little bit more neck to neck. I played safely as well. I think this was the correct call. And there's a turn where there's an open battlefield. I hold to 5, play a sneaky deckhand, go to 6. He has the other battlefield, so I would just develop a board to win next turn right out. I have the combo in hand, so what I do is I don't want to bet it all on Vi Ride the Wind because it can get pushed or it can get rebuked and then I'm out of luck. So I'll keep my options open. I played the Vi. Since he has no falling star or things like that, he cannot get rid of it that easily. He has rebuked my Darius once, so he has rebuke in the trash. I play my Darius again. He then plays Annie and gets back rebuke. In my base, I have a Poro and I'm at 6 points. So what I do is I play my Annie, then play the Darius and get back a Ride the Wind. So with the rebuke in hand, and I only have 2 runes open, I can either Ride the Wind, the Darius, and get rebuked again, but that's really what he's expecting, and I want to make him like spend all of his runes. So instead what I do is I cleave my Poro, go into the battlefield, and he wasn't expecting this. He has to rebuke my Poro, get rid of 3 runes, and I believe he only has 2 now. So next turn, he is going only to 4 runes. There's nothing that he can do to rebuild the board. And the turn after that, I'm just able to hold with the Darius as he has no way to get me off of there. And I win cleanly 2-0, 8-5, both games. And I am now in top 8. It was kind of weird that I ended up at 8th. I was hovering between 4th and 6th during rounds. And even though I kept winning, I kept going down. I guess breakers for my opponents were a little bit better. And the guy I lost to, I did the previous round and then lost this final round and ended up not making top cut. So probably that hurt me. But hey, I was able to finally top 8 an event I'm traveling for. So I am super happy. We were talking about splitting top 8 just because it's late, but we did an anonymous vote and one person wanted to play, so we now have to play one additional game, and that's fine. I'm happy with it. I love playing Riftbound, so let's do it. This is what the hall looks like right now, just the 2 tables and like 15 people in the whole building. So we sit down and my opponent for the top 8 is Seed 1 Tristan from Turn 'Em Sideways. You might have seen him cast on that YouTube channel. He was a super nice opponent. My deck unfortunately didn't perform really well this round. He got to go first per the new rules for top cuts. He also played the match so well, especially game 1 combined with me drawing semi-bad. He just didn't give me an opportunity to take the game back from him at any point. He had a very good hand and closed every opportunity that I had to, for example, Ride the Wind to an open battlefield. He would preemptively put enough units there so that I cannot do that. Even if I had like Ride the Wind plus Cleave, like he was closing every single window that I had. He played the Kaisa and then correctly read that I had Void Seeker in hand. So that Kaisa never moved to an open battlefield. I had to stay open with 3 runes for the rest of the game pretty much until I was almost dead. That said, I was able to score 6 points, and had I had like a good turn where I could contest one of these battlefields or hold him from scoring 1 in 1 turn, could have been a different story, but it wasn't like that. He just closed the game super efficiently. He also drew a lot of smaller units in race, so he could keep cleaning my board and my attacks while still developing his boards. So it was very difficult to contest game 1, and he ended up winning 8-6. And then game 2, I didn't draw too many units, and the ones I did draw were very expensive. I did have a line where he had only 2 cards in hand, and I had a Darius in one battlefield, and he went in to take the other battlefield with a student. This was going for his 6th point, so I had to take the risk and Ride the Wind my Darius to the other side. I didn't have anything else to play that turn, and from the 2 cards that he had in hand, one of those were Cleave, so since he's the attacker, he can cleanly get the point, plus get rid of my unit, and after that, I wasn't able to get another point. He ended up winning 8-5. And lost in my first round of top 8. I don't think I drew like an absolute brick, but I also didn't draw really well. I did learn a couple things, seeing him close all of these gaps where the Annie can get back the advantage of the game is something that I will need to put in practice as well when I'm playing Kaisa against Annie. Anyway, that is it. I lost 0-2. This is where my run ends. Top 4 ended splitting. Congratulations to everyone who made top 4. And we get to go home now, pack up my things, and have to catch an early flight, which I'm not too excited about because I'll need to wake up at 3 a.m. and take an Uber. That's like 45 minutes to the airport to board my plane at 6 a.m. Still very happy that I could come here, play a final set 1 tournament, do my first top 8 in one of these events I'm traveling for. It was really good practice for the upcoming regionals. And yeah, this is my records for the season. A 61% win rate. It's not bad. I need to keep studying, and I'm sure I will be able to do better in the next season.
Oof, what a long day. It was really fun. I was very happy to be able to top 8. Unfortunately, lost against Tristan. He played really well, and he was also going first because of seeding. So it is what it is. I'm happy that I could have at least make the money back for my flight. So that's good. And now I'll be moving to set 2 completely. This was my goodbye to set 1. We went to dinner with some of the guys that played today, but I forgot to take pictures. But really rewarding trip. I'm happy that I could have played here because this was like a pre-regionals warm-up for me. I just wanted to play a semi-big event before that. Now it's focusing on set 2 completely, and I will be seeing you next time in Bologna in 3 weeks, I think, something like that. And then a week after that, I'll be playing the regional in Vegas. That's the plan for February. And then we'll see if I come back to Houston to play another CCS event, try to secure a spot for the Invitational at the end of the year. And yeah, that'll be it.
Once at the airport, I remember that I didn't celebrate that I top 8'd. So I bought a donut, which is actually pretty good. I know that's so lame, but yeah, it was early in the morning and I felt like treating myself to celebrate. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, guys, for following this journey. I hope you had a good time. I really did have a blast playing these tournaments. I'll keep playing, I'll keep grinding, I'll keep getting better. And please subscribe to follow this journey. And I'll see you around. Take care, guys.